All right, we are back, New York City again in person. Anna, Marco. Last time we spoke, we dove into just a variety of things around the NBA season, and today we're gonna flip it to the other side of the sneaker industry, which is just what's happening for the rest of the year.
We know the holiday season is a massive season, the biggest season for when it comes to sneakers. We can't start that conversation without talking about Jordan Brand. They unveiled their holiday retro collection a few weeks ago.
Missing one shoe in the preview, but we'll
as
get there.
usual,
We'll
as
get
usual,
there. Yeah.
we know the 11 is coming, but and then we have a couple other brands that some of them rumored, some of them confirmed that are coming up. And just so everyone is aware, when we talk about holiday, we're talking about the season. October, November, December, those all usually fall into the holiday lineup. Not necessarily shoes that are coming out like around December or Christmas. So, but before we dive into Jordan Brand, which we have to start there because they just unveiled a massive collection as they usually do. We have to share a little bit of special news. If you've opened up the Nike app this week, you might see some familiar faces if you're a SoleSavy member, or just might catch a mention of SoleSavy. But I want Anna to share a little bit more about that.
So we just unveiled our partnership with Jordan Brand, specifically with the women's community that extended into men's due to some timing, and it's really exciting on our end because we were able to feature 5 of our members from the women's community who were, really active, really inspirational to us here on the team, and as well as Anise, our community leader, who is, she's the forefront of our women's community. So it's a really fun opportunity for us to highlight these people, and Nike went and gave them almost the entire collection. I think they got like 5 or 6 outfits. They got like 3 pairs of shoes each. And they got like the whole VIP treatment. So like hair, makeup, photo shoot. And they also got to really talk about what the women's community means to them as a whole, as SoleSavy, but also as a whole in sneakers. And again, I keep using the word exciting because I cannot contain how excited I am. It's just an opportunity for them to share their voices on platforms that they normally wouldn't be on.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about this content partnership that went live with Jordan Brand is that and oftentimes we see collections unveiled and we have celebrities, athletes, influencers who all have a ton of influence, right? And it makes sense why brands work with these people. But at the end of the day, it's nice to hear from the everyday consumers, the passionate sneakerheads, the people who really like sneaker culture and the sneaker community means something more to them than just the shoes they buy. And I thought that came through really nicely in that. So shout out to Anna, shout out to Anise, and all of the SoleSavy members that participate in that, and of course the Jordan Brand for again highlighting the people who really are the kind of lifeblood of sneaker culture, right? The people who love sneakers.
Yeah, and it's not just us. We've been seeing it more in the sneakers app, in the Nike app. They're spotlighting and featuring more everyday people. So it's an honor they included us in it, included the SoleSavy community, and we got to create, in my opinion, like a once in a lifetime opportunity for some of these women and some of these members to, get treated like a star and see that collection early, see themselves in an app, and it's just a cool experience that I'm super happy for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, one of my goals for SoleSavy, and I've shared this with you before, is I want our members to feel like in this new age of sneaker culture where a lot of the accessibility has become more difficult to get access to, that everybody, if you love sneakers, that you deserve to feel like an influencer, like a VIP. And that's what we're aspiring to do. And I think this is a good step in that direction. So again, thanks to all of those who planned that out. It's just really exciting to see, again, some familiar faces in the Nike app wearing some fresh Jordan gear. So with that, I'll jump into the Jordan Brand holiday collection. And let me move my laptop here so you guys can see it, just a reminder. So tons of stuff came out, from Jordan 1s to some winterized stuff, some new colorways. This is what's really absent from this collection is some true retros when you really think about it, right? Like we're used to seeing, obviously we'll talk about the 11 in a second, but this is all new colorways, which is to me exciting because other people would be like, yo, give me the taxis, which of course I would have taken over these. But at the same time, it's fun to see some stuff get remixed, right? I think some of these are borderline retros, but we're not seeing the usual like Black Friday. Maybe it comes as a surprise, but like a retro.
I think it makes sense to me because it's that balance of this year. I think they gave us some of those colorways we've been asking for, right? The Lightnings, the Raging Bulls, the I'm not calling them Moonlights, the Oreos. They've given us those shoes we've been asking for that came out a decade ago, and this holiday season they went into a fresh approach, which is great. And I remember when the bread leaked on Twitter, and everyone's like, breads are coming back, and it was patent, and everyone's like, all right, I still want them.
So are you telling me that people who leak style codes and mock-ups aren't always correct?
They're never correct.
Right,
I mean, they're correct to a degree, but it's
sometimes
a lot of speculation. A lot of speculation.
I notice when there's like, I just saw a SKU number and it's a Jordan that's like black and red. It's like automatically a Chicago or a bread coming out. I was like, come on, man.
What was the Jordan that released last year, and everyone thought it was going to be the bread coming back, but it was like trims of red.
The Bloodline?
The Bloodline 2 years ago, yeah.
That was top.
The weirdest thing is I didn't even know what that shoe was until I realized that so many people wanted them.
Yeah.
So now it sticks out of my mind.
Well, I think the one that's made the most noise so far is the patent leather bread Jordan 1, which I think is really cool. It's like my first Jordan 1 was the patent leather black and gold. I've told that story a million times.
Yeah.
I won't tell it again right now. But I used to love patent leather. And for me, it's just like not really wearable anymore. It's not I don't know if it's a style thing. It's a comfort thing. I do appreciate like that this is a cool shoe. But a lot of people are saying this is the best one of the collection. Which one do you think is?
I think for me, I'm just biased because I don't want to wear an all patent Jordan 1. I don't like how it ages. I prefer the leather, but I'm happy people are going to get an opportunity to, add a bread Jordan. It's a bread Jordan 1 to their collection. I think for me, I think a lot of people actually hated it. It was the one that got me excited was this Jordan 3 with like the camo and the materials. I'm like, I don't know why. It just was a cool experiment with the different panels on the 3 to add different materials to it. And that's honestly the one I want the most.
Yeah, that's cool. I really give a lot of credit to the design team at Jordan Brand because they get a lot of slack. Oh, Jordan's running out of ideas and blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, what do you expect? It's been 36 years or more than that maybe now. It's like you would run out of ideas too. The fact that they can continue to go back to the drawing board and find new, fresh ways to make old shoes cool again, you got to give them credit for that. And I think that people are sometimes a little too hard on them. But then you see stuff like this where it's not for everybody, but you're excited about that.
I don't have a shoe that looks like
great
that.
Winter shoe.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And again, we're starting to see more material plays. It's starting to almost like decon shoes. In ways that make sense. Anna, what about you? What's your favorite?
I know you pulled that photo up because you know that's my favorite. the shocking pink colorway. It's so different. Right?
Jordan 14, just for
the Jordan 14 and the shocking pink is what it's called. And historically, I've always hated hot pink and black until the CDG Air Maxes, which I really hate myself for not owning. But
those are good shoes. I wish I had those too.
We can talk about this one day, but it's funny because when I first saw this, I thought that this is what I would see from a Laylee May. Like I could see this being an Laylee May shoe. And I just think it's a really good shoe. 14s are really hard to wear. I think she's like helping women kind of enter that lane and deviate from the Jordan 1, the Jordan 4. And I'm really excited to actually I need the shoe. Like it takes a lot for me to get really excited about a shoe, and because it's so different to your point, DP, from like just kind of switching up a retro here and there. I can't. I'm all over it.
Yeah, materials. I mean, look, it's hard.
Materials are crazy.
It's hard to execute on a pink sneaker and make it wearable, and they've done it with that. This one was probably number 2 on my list. But I think the biggest thing around the whole lineup was a lot of diversity as far as like the sneakers, the silhouettes, the choices they made. Some safe, some not. And I think that's what you want out of a collection reveal.
Yeah, I mean, I think Harry Suede is undoubtedly the material of the moment. We've seen it come to life on a few different shoes recently. That looks like it is. I could be wrong. So I think that's like also like a trend that's already existing, but we're probably going to see a little bit more of, and I think they executed it well there. I will say that it was shocking to me that so many people like this shoe, but I can see where people are coming from here. Not for me, of course, but I will say, to follow up your point though, I do think the 14 is going to be a new wave, particularly with women. Like it really just like a lady makes it look so cool. It almost feels like a boot. So it fits a different type of aesthetic than you would in like a different type of shoe. A lot of Jordans kind of feel like boots, but for whatever reason, like it looks really good when that upper's kind of covered up, and you can kind of just see like it's a really aggressive design, obviously. So I do see a lot of people jumping onto that, and I even though like one of the most iconic colorways is the Last Shot, I feel like because it's like a predominantly black and leather shoe, it doesn't really do that silhouette justice when you wear it like that. But some of these new like different materials, like the Alele and this one, like it just looks really freaking nice on foot. And I can see 2022 that being the shoe that a lot of women are gravitating towards. So I hope that Jordan Brand has more in store for that. I'll be the first to admit that like I don't necessarily need anything from this collection. I'll be happy to own a couple of them. I like the bubblegum one a lot. I think the story, I'm a sucker for some good storytelling, especially when it's like just subtle. It's not overdone. There's all those images of Jordan with the blowing the bubble gum, and it just feels cool. I kind of wish it didn't have patent leather on it, but
That's patent leather.
Am I tripping, or is there a part of it that has patent on it? Like
I didn't see
either
any.
the heel or the toe box.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, if it doesn't, then it's definitely a must for me. If it does, then it'll probably be a 50-50 if I'm able to get that through SoleSavy, hopefully. You know me that
That's
the
extended.
rust pink is one of the coolest colorways ever, and this is to me is even a better consolation prize than the
turbo pink, I think, or not turbo pink.
I heard about Soulflies.
Yeah, so Tony just confirmed there's some patent on there, but no, you're talking about it was like
it's like a peach
color, pebbled leather though.
Yeah,
right?
I hated those.
I really wanted to like those, and then I just didn't love the leather on them, and that came out literally a year or two after the rust pinks. So yeah, I think this is actually a better alternative to that because I don't know, for whatever reason that pebbled leather didn't do it for me. So this is going to be the one for me. We can't wrap up talking about Jordan Brand without talking about literally the biggest release of the year every year, and this year it's no secret. We're not breaking any news here. It's going to be the cool gray Jordan 11. I am interested in this one because so many people seem to want it, and I've never been a cool gray fan per se. Like I don't love the cool gray 11. I'm not a big 9 guy, but like the cool gray 9's not my favorite, and I really don't like the cool gray 3s. And like I don't have any problem with them. I think they're a nice looking shoe, but it's just not like my shoe. So I feel like every year people like just like really want the 11. And start to like I wouldn't say that change their opinion on there because I do think a lot of people love the cool gray, but it just seems like you're just kind of conditioned to be really excited about that shoe, which I'm happy people are. It's not a must for me, but I'm glad it's coming back. And I know I remember a couple of years ago, like Jason Tatum got like a PE version of it. And there was all this like speculation.
I remember that. Yeah,
it was he posted it. I remember because it's his favorite shoe. So when he signed to the brand, I think they had him like they must have got a special pair made. Yeah. But let's talk about the 11. We know there's probably going to be not hundreds of thousands, but
I mean, let's first acknowledge you're a liar and you're going to buy them.
Okay, so I'm laughing at this, but I recently found out in one of our content meetings, he doesn't even own like Concords.
The Concord is the shoe
that's really weird.
That I seeded more than any other shoe in my entire life. Yeah. And we sent out so many pairs. You know, that was like the biggest.
So you didn't keep one for yourself?
The time. Somehow, I think I even gave one to. I think I might have given my pair to my little brother, thinking that I would come across a second pair, and I never did. And that's like really the shoe that started my sneaker origin story, which we'll save for another podcast because I can talk about that all day.
And
but
the Lakers,
the 11s. So I really want to talk about this from a logistical standpoint. DP, you being the retail expert, the copying expert. What can people expect about this? Expect from this release? We know there's going to be over 1 million pairs, but what does that mean in the year 2021 when buying sneakers is at an all-time high and it's more difficult than ever, plus all the logistical issues? Are we going to get all these pairs before Christmas hits?
No.
Really?
So the release date's December 11th. You said 1 million, I'd say. I wouldn't be surprised if there was 2. I think there's going to be a ton of these, which is good. I think
there's
a lot of
appetite for them.
I think a lot of people want them, myself included. It's a must. I like cool gray colorways more than I would go all white or triple black personally. But yeah, this is going to be even all this holiday stuff. Actually, everything that we might talk about today, none of it might show up in time. There's a lot of logistical issues, and when you look at the volume of producing something in 1 million, 2 million units, 500,000, you have to get that inventory into the country. And right now we're seeing just a delay in everything. So I think we might see like half of that drop in December, and then January there'd be a restock. That makes no sense, but it's here. Where they find them all, they were on a ship in a container. So I think, especially with the cool grades for everyone listening, if you end up taking an L that release weekend, I would wait 3 months before I consider another pair because it's going to be that bad. So while there's a lot of them, you have to exercise patience. I think personally the 11s the last couple of years have been, in my opinion, easy. But I'm an expert in the art of the online cop. But we're gonna have some challenges, and that's not just Jordan. That's not Nike. That's New Balance. That's Adidas. Everything's gonna be delayed. So. Big release, but not going to go down as smoothly as the brand would want to. And I think the best example is like we've been seeing these Jordan reserves lately that are just like, where are they finding these things? They're old, and that's delayed inventory coming in.
I've never owned them, and I'm not into cool grays either.
Oh, so I'm the only one.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just gonna waste. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pass. I'll probably help someone.
Yeah,
the assist. You gotta do the
I'll
assist.
probably drop some assists. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that like maybe this year I've started to let go of like sneaker FOMO. Like before, cool gray would be a must cop for me just because of the history. I'm a sucker for sneaker history. I'm like,
then why don't you have Concords?
I'm like, I'm gonna get a pair.
This is never gonna make sense.
I'm gonna get a pair.
Anyway.
I need to, but MJ did play in them on the Wizards, so like I usually trick myself into thinking I need these, and then I don't wear them because I just really don't wear 11s anymore. Space Jam's one of my favorite shoes ever. I don't really wear them, so I respect that, and I'm on the same wave right now. Like I'm trying not to let like owning a piece of history make me want every single shoe, especially when I mean
this is a good one to do that for, man.
Well,
this is
worthwhile. Let's do a little bit of speculation here then. All right, so we've seen Concords, we've seen Space Jams, we've seen Breads, we've seen the one we haven't seen, or the one we've seen the least recently would be Columbia. But then we've seen a bunch of like new colorways, win like 80, win like 82, win like 96.
I could see next holiday season being like
a new one.
Yeah, something to pause and add a new colorway to the mold. Take inspiration. Maybe it's inspired by the new generation of Jordan Brand athletes, and it's something that signifies that transition. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I actually would like to see next year's be unique, because I think when people when like the Win Like series dropped, it was kind of like, just give us the fucking shit that we want. But now people look back at it and go, oh, that's cool. That's dope. They created something new that's coveted.
Plus, we just got the Columbia lows earlier this year. I think they did well, but it's not a shoe that people are like begging the brand back for. So I would like to see something new, and then maybe in a couple of years, people are really excited about Columbia's again, right? What about you, Anna? What do you think realistically is the next 11?
I'm on the same wave. I think there's a big appetite for new colorways. Literally exact same, right? People, they keep saying that all they want is like the originals, bring them back, but we can only do that so many times and not get excited.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, like I like what they're doing with the 14s. It'd be really interesting to see that trickle into the following years.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think before we move on from Jordan, I do want to acknowledge a couple of rumored shoes. We have the Soulfly AJ1 Low that I think Travis teased a while back. They have a history of dropping shoes around November, our Basel time. We have the Off-White AJ2, which has obviously been on our screens for a while now, which is rumored for the end of this year. We have the Alma Maniere AJ1. I don't know, a brand / leader of a brand that's having a better streak and getting the flower she deserves more right now than James Whitner. So I know a lot of people are excited about that shoe. There's I think that's it for Jordan. I was gonna say the Travis Air Max, but that's a Nike. So out of all of those three, let's talk about the Off-White Air Jordan 2 just real quickly. I don't want to touch on it too long because we don't know that if it's confirmed or not. But that's how it goes. But do you think that I've been saying it for a while that the twos are up for a wave, the two lows in particular, but everyone has different tastes. What do you think about the AJ2? Do you think that trickles into more inline stuff?
Yeah, you don't give Virgil an Off-White Air Jordan 2 without it being the first of many Air Jordans 2. Like we're going to see a ton of Jordan 2s next year. Whether people react to it positively and want them or not is TBD. But yeah, they've shown a history of leveraging a major collaboration to bring back a silhouette. This is a no-brainer. Prepare for the Air Jordan 2 2022.
It's a tried and true formula. So
it's like I'd bet good money on that happening.
And I know you're a fan of the AJ2 Low. I think I saw one of yours split on Instagram a while ago, right? You lost the soul of that one. So do you think that there's a wave coming for the AJ2 Low?
I don't know, because I don't know that I've seen Virgil. Well, okay, I guess he hasn't done any other Jordan models, but theoretically it makes sense. I don't know that I see a lot of people jumping on new Jordan 2s. I see everyone, trying to claim that they've always been about Jordan 2s. I don't even know how to guess.
I have one pair. I have one pair of Jordan 2s.
I have that one pair, but
Yeah.
like I know that there women like women who've liked sneakers for a long time like Jordan 2s because there have been good women's Jordan 2 colorways. Like it's mostly because of Vashti. So, I mean, it's a natural response for people to follow along once a major collaboration drops. But that wouldn't influence me.
I will say I think it's a good time for the Jordan 2 to potentially have its moment. It feels like it's a fit with current style and just overall everything. Like I'm a little excited for it. We'll see, but I'm not going to be,
I'm not trying for this shoe.
I'm not going to be trying to. Yeah, I'm definitely not trying for this shoe. I don't need the aged version. I'll go buy one from 2000 or something like.
Yeah, well, just to piggyback on that, I do think you look at the 550, you look at the Dunk, you look at the AJ1 Low. The Jordan 2 feels right at home in there with flat out sole, pretty minimal upper. And I've always thought the Jordan 2 was ripe for some great collaborations. I mean, it started off as one of the first luxury basketball shoe, or the first luxury basketball shoe of all time. And now we live in a world where I think every Air Jordan collab is considered luxury, at least in my eyes. Plus, you look at the upper, right? You have that lizard skin, and it's just imagine the amount of opportunity there is for creative people to take that and flip it into something else. So I think that would be really cool. And I've been saying that for a while, so I'm glad to see it come to life. Hopefully, moving on to. DP's favorite artist. There's some speculation. October's very own Drake will be dropping his Nike collaboration, highly anticipated Nike collaboration in October. I believe it is called the Noctua Hot Step Air Terra.
We got some breaking news mid podcast. Yeezy basketball knit.
So are you telling me that in the middle of talking about Drake, Kanye tried to steal the thunder again, like with Donda and the album, because that was perfect timing.
that was good timing. No,
let's get back to that in a second. But let's talk about this Drake shoe. I think I don't love it, but I think it feels very Drake.
It's on brand. I can't even comment on Drake, so I'm just gonna pass the mic over to Anna.
And what do you think as a Toronto native?
So, my stance on Drake's style is that it's very reflective of, I think, a Toronto look and feel, not necessarily a style. This shoe, I have no idea what it is referencing. Is it an old model?
I can't speak on it confidently. I'm willing to bet that it has some DNA.
It probably is. Okay, so what the way that I see Drake's, I guess, decision making is they like to go against and everyone thinks what he does is boring, but I think they try to pick a silhouette that's a little bit more obscure. They really tried to do something with the Jordan Trunner, and I like those.
Yep.
I thought it was cool that it wasn't like a Jordan 1. It's kind of a really easy thing to do a Jordan 1. So they're trying to do something more difficult, and I think this is the only way that you could really track his influence. Whether or not people end up liking it, I don't know, but if you see people wearing hot steppers, I'm gonna call them that. No, actually, there's a real shoe called Hot Steppers. Anyway,
I thought that's what it was called.
No, it's
the Hot Step Air Terra.
Hot Step Air Terras.
Yep,
no,
but
you can 1000% credit that back to Drake, and I think that's kind of something he I don't know him, but I imagine that's something he'd also like to measure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to me, I think this is Drake. Finally, he's been with the swoosh for a long time. He had the Jordan PEs, which is basically what they were. I think this is finally him getting comfortable in his own shoes and saying, hey, I'm not really trying to compete with the Virgils and Travises and Kanye's of the world as a designer. I just want to wear shoes that I like, right? It's there's certain self-awareness to say, hey, I'm not in that race anymore, and I don't really want to be.
Well, he wants to define his own lane and find that space, which is fine. But I want to pivot to what's probably the biggest collaborator for Nike for the rest of the holiday, and that's Sakai.
Yep.
They have Blazer lows, maybe some Blazer highs, Cause, LD waffle, Vapor waffle. There's a ton of product coming with them, and Nike has given them a lot of leeway to collaborate, to triple collab with Fragment, with Cause. With Undercover, they're coming out with a slew of product, and that's where Nike's putting a lot of their energy behind for the rest of the holiday season as far as collaborations go. So here's my question. Do you think that is bad for that collab that they're going in so heavy with it because it's going to saturate the market, and we've seen how people respond to too much of something.
Well, I think Nike intentionally beats silhouettes into the ground, gets every penny out of them, and then moves on. We saw that with the React Element 87. We saw that with a number of different silhouettes. I don't think Nike's in the business of staying somewhere for too long. If they know Sakai is hot, they're going to milk that, and then they're going to give them a license to create something new. And I think as a designer, which I'm not, you have to imagine that your goal is to innovate, and I would imagine that's what the people at Sakai want to do. So I don't mind it. It's one of those things where
I don't mind it either. I'm just
you show some really hot. Like I'm one of those people that's as long as I get my hands on like the first OG colorways, I'm pretty set, right? And I was lucky enough to get 2 of the first batch that I really like. So, and then I see after that maybe some of my friends who didn't try as hard to get that first one or didn't want to pay aftermarket slowly be able to get their hands on pairs. This is weird because it's like we saw that middle, like I wouldn't call it GR, but that middle non-high heat secondary batch, and then we had the Vapor Waffle, and then they went back to collabs, right, with like some heavy hitters. So that's the only interesting part is they almost like I've never seen them just like phase out a collab and then be like nope, we're coming back.
They took a little pause, but like the LD Waffle has 7 colorways from like August to I'm going to assume October, November, right? With the different collaborations. I think that to me signals like we want as many people to get this as possible, because like I saw someone on a forum somewhere, they said, how dare Claude and Sakai make too many pairs of this LD Waffle? How am I supposed to be an entrepreneur by selling them? I say that because I know. I say that because the brands are looking at, like you said, you were lucky enough to get the OG colorways, but not everyone did. So now they're giving them 7 options through the holiday. Like we want to make sure there's a balance with these collaborations, because I think that's the hardest thing in the industry is like those are the hardest shoes to get. As soon as the collab comes out, it's on everyone's board of like it's a must cop.
Yeah,
exactly. This is what we've all been begging for, right? Accessibility, and now we're getting it.
Yeah, it's like
I'm with it.
I love white cement 3s and black cement 3s. I'm not upset that there's just like a black and green colorway coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
So I know it's not a collab; it's a little bit different.
Especially if you already have the pairs.
Yeah. Let's talk about Halloween. That's usually a big moment for brands. We have a few different things coming up, from the Mummy to the Halloween. All of them, I believe they're on Dunks. Do you guys get excited about Halloween shoes? I know that you like some of these special occasion shoes at DP.
No, I do like special occasion shoes, but no, the Halloween, I'm scorned by them, because like when I cared about Halloween, the shoes would release on October 30th, and then they'd arrive on like November 6th, and I wouldn't get to wear them. I'd forget about them. So I always find that the Halloween sneaker timing is never right.
I don't have much to say. Straight no.
All right, we have to talk about a piece of footwear that's not a sneaker, but like I've never seen a non-sneaker on my feet as much as this one, and that is the Slay Benberry times New Balance.
The Crocs.
Wait, no, I'm talking about the Crocs, but also his New Balances with the whistle. Like he's just having a crazy moment. But I really want to talk about the Crocs because I think the New Balance 574s are an established hit. I think there's no question about that people want those. The Crocs are a little interesting to me because I'm a big Croc fan as of recently. But how do you feel about that shoe and other pieces of footwear really jumping into collab culture?
Well, I mean, you can say when you say Crocs, I think about foam runners and different silhouettes. Again, I'm always for innovation. Just because footwear has been a certain way for 10 years, 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever it might be, there's no reason. Like I give credit to the Yeezy team and for Benberry and for any brand that's going to create something like when your first reaction is like, what the fuck is that? Yep. But then you sit and you look at it and then maybe you try and you put it on and you're like, oh, this is innovation in a space that doesn't normally innovate. So I'm always going to give kudos and I'm always going to buy that stuff to show some support in innovation. Otherwise, we'll be wearing the same shit in 30 years.
I have not yet gone into Crocs territory.
I do not own any Crocs.
I don't own
either.
Crocs
yet.
No. I do have Merrells though, and then like that was
Same.
slowly trickling in, and I do give kudos to Crocs for like transcending the Crocs crowd. Yeah. So now they're into like the cool kids crowd, and so this shoe, I know a lot of people think it's a little funny. I don't know. I don't know if you guys liked it or not. I think they're interesting.
I think they're cool. Yeah.
For someone who's not even into Crocs, I'm not even like a hardcore SoleSavy follower. Mm-hmm. I like these.
We have to wrap, but I can't wrap without talking about the Yeezy Knit Runner. We've seen the memes. There's got to be more colorways coming, just like the foam runner. Are you gonna get your hands on that shoe if you can?
Yeah. I'm definitely. It's like one of those things where I'm not gonna like bust my ass or spend a ton of money for something like the foam runner, because I think Adidas is taking the structure to like, they made it really, really limited and they're working their way up to mass produce it. I get it. I'm just gonna wait for my time and moment to jump in and try them. So I'm excited to get them on feet. Again, innovation. Even the knit runner, I know people were clowning it.
Yeah.
Looks
That's
like
what, that's what I was.
looks
asking.
like oh, it's a knit runner. I think
Yeah.
foam.
No, foam runner I think is already a hit. Knit runner, you're interested?
Yeah, I want to see. It might look funny, but like I want to check it out. Again, it's innovation.
I can't tell what they're gonna look like on foot,
True.
right? Like I can't. They kind of give me a slipper vibe. I have no idea, but my lesson that I've learned is like the first new Kanye thing. I don't want a repeat of the foam runner. I missed out on the foam runner the first time, and I really regret it. So I'm definitely gonna try and get these. I think they're fun too. I love the color.
I'm intrigued, and again, innovation. I'll take that, and I'll let it grow on me versus just dismissing it. But yeah, that's what we're looking forward to this holiday when it comes to sneaker drops. So I appreciate your insights, and hopefully we get our hands on the pairs that we were excited about.
Yeah, and if not, there's always another drop.
True.
There's always another holiday season.
There's always a restock / delay too.
There's always another opportunity. So you got to exercise patience through this madness in the industry.
Yeah. No sneaker FOMO.
No sneaker FOMO.
With that, appreciate y'all. Tony, thank you. See you guys next time.